Hey Flosstube, this is Christy, the Rain Cross Stitcher. Welcome back to my channel. If you are one of my subscribers, if you're brand new, hi, hello, welcome. I'm Christy, I'm a cross stitcher. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. This is my channel where I mostly talk about cross stitch. Today I do have a finish to share. Yes, I'm working on princesses, but I'm doing the whole series of 12 as one set. So I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about my other one that I'm working on. It is my magic potion cell. It is finished finally, yay. I started working on this in 2023. If you're brand new here, I've been living in California for the last year, a little more than a year now. Prior to that, I was living in Okinawa, Japan for 3 years. So the last full year that I was in Okinawa was 2023. And I knew I wanted to do a temperature cell, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted, so it took me a couple months to figure it out. Finally found this one, and I started stitching on it, and 2 years later it's finally done. It should not have taken me this long to finish it, but it's just, it is what it is. Side note, I do have ADHD. I do stitch around. I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I jump from one project to another. That's the reason why it took me so long to do this. But anyways, it's done now. It's fine. It's everything's okay now. So here it is. It's finished. And as you can see, there's a big space at the bottom. I do plan in the future to put something down there saying 2023 Okinawa or something to that effect. I am not sure how or what I'm going to do as of right now. So I'm just going to put this away, and that will be tomorrow's problem. So for this piece and a lot of the time-lapse videos, I get a lot of questions about what am I using for the grid lines and for the outlines of each of the bottles. Okay, I'm gonna scoot over. Let's go this way. So right here, I'm gonna put a little video of demonstrating how I use my friction pins. These are friction pins. I use them to grid the fabric, but also I use them to outline some of the pieces that I'm stitching on. Here, for example, I believe is my Witch's Brew piece that I did a few years ago. As you can see, I did outlines of the letters, and I knew that I had to fill in the inside. So having pre-count out and outline the area that needed to be stitched makes it easier for me when I'm actually stitching, that all I have to do is just focus on filling in that empty space. So usually when when I show you my princesses, I don't have the grid lines on there, so often it's taking me a little bit longer to stitch because I'm counting, double counting, triple counting sometimes to make sure I got the right stitch in the right spot. Using friction pins to like, I'll have my pattern keeper up, and then I'll have my fabric, and I would outline. You can't see the pattern keeper obviously in the frame, but I would easily just draw out where I'm supposed to stitch at, and then later just go in and stitch it with whatever color it calls for. The magic potions cell, actually it's a little bit different because each bottle is a different color, but there's 4 shades of each color for those bottles. So most of the bottles called for 4 shades, others only 2. So just outlining the bottles beforehand kind of serves 2 purposes actually. Some of the bottles are supposed to be behind another one. Like, they're not all right next to each other or even touching each other. Some of them are just, you know, bottles just on a shelf. Just some of them are just arranged differently. If there are 2 bottles that are one's overlapping the other, and they're 2 different colors, you need to know which color is going to be which bottle. So having pre-outlined those bottles can tell me, okay, so bottle A is going to be green and bottle B is going to be yellow. So I knew to stitch what, where, and it was still a little complicated, but I made it work. Yes. And in case you're wondering, here's a video how I do the friction, how I get rid of it. Most of my pieces I make for myself. Few of them I do give them away as gifts, teacher gifts, wedding, birth samplers, whatever. The ones I give away as gifts, I do the whole process of washing and then ironing. For pieces that are just for myself, I don't really care. So I just hit the piece with the iron and I'm fine with that. It gets the lines out. The only thing I do have to disclaim is if you use red friction pins, these are a nightmare to wash out. They don't come off sometimes and they will stain the fabric. So just be careful with the reds. I highly recommend anytime you use friction pins, stitch a little bit on the outside on the margin to test it out to make sure that's going to come off later, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If you're working on a darker fabric, one time I was working with a brown, a dark navy blue, and a black, and I've noticed the friction pins leave a little white residue, which is kind of okay, I guess. You just have to know that it's going to be a little bit of you're gonna need a little elbow grease to get that out. You gotta rub carefully each little spot, and it's gonna take some time, so just keep that in mind. I learned that the hard way. It will come off, it's just gonna take a long time, so be careful with that. Okay, so hopefully that answered any questions you had. I get a lot of questions about friction pins. I am more than happy to answer all questions you may have. But there's just a lot of information when using friction pins. I've been using them for the last 8 years, so I've learned a lot of things. I've made a lot of mistakes, but yeah, I still love them. Obviously, I'm a little obsessed. A little obsessed with friction pins. I collected most of these while I was in Japan, so I am super happy. I even got a bunch of the refills. Just because I know I use them often. I use them so much. So yes, I have a lot of friction pins. All right, let me go put these away and I'll be right back. Okay, the next thing I have to share today is my Brooks Books Fairy Tale Princess Dress Up Collection. That's a long name. So yes, here is the ones I've done so far. And the last one I have is number 7. It's right here. I do not have a picture of this yet, so that's why it's on that little little whip parade. So this is done. It is finished. I'm already working on the Little Mermaid princess. I'm sure copyright. There's reasons why they had to be named a little bit different, in case you're wondering. Which we understand. We understand copyright. So this piece, I did work on plastic canvas. Reason being is I plan to finish these in a certain way. Dan, the breaking news man, did ask. Okay, he commented, I would like to start cross-stitching on plastic canvas. How do you display your finished designs? Could you please show or talk about the different ways to display finished designs made from plastic canvas? Thank you. Yes, sure, absolutely, no problem. Unfortunately, I've only done plastic canvas once prior to doing this collection. Here's a picture of what that one looks like. That is another Brooks Books design. It's called the Wedding Sampler. I did that piece several years ago for my niece for her wedding. As you can see, it's very simple, very basic. It was the first time I've worked with plastic canvas, so I didn't go too extravagant. I just kept it very basic and simple. because of that. Now I have a bit more experience with cross stitch and working on things. I do now have more ideas, thankfully, from the Facebook group called Brooks Books Stitch Along, I believe. Whoops, no. Yes. Brooks Books Stitch Along. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want to go check it out. It's all finishes by people working on Brooks Books designs. There's a lot of them out there. Unfortunately, she did pass away back in December, and according to my knowledge, they cannot sell her designs anymore, they being her husband and son, because she owned the copyright to her designs, as she should. But there's the whole legal process. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with that or where they're at with it. I know they were trying to work it out where they're able to sell her designs, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing or how far they're able to get with that. So coming back to Dan, to answer your question, hopefully, if you're looking for ideas, inspirations, or anything like that on how to finish your plastic canvas, I would strongly recommend joining the Brooks Books Stitch Along Facebook page. I'll also put a link in the description box below to make it a little bit easier for you to find this. If you go to the pictures, there's a lot of pictures on a lot of people finishing their pieces. Some of it is on plastic canvas, others it's on perforated paper. I'm going to put a little thing right here, a little another parade video right here, so you can see all the different options, different styles, different types of finishes. So these are not mine, these are pictures I pulled from the Facebook group. So if you want to take a look at it, this is just what some of the people have done. Some of them made ornaments, others did shadow boxes, others did what's it called, scrapbooking, and they layered it, and everyone did something a little bit different, making it their own. So yeah, so there's so many options, and this is just a few that I randomly picked just quickly on that page. There are so many more pictures on there. So if you're looking for ideas, I would recommend you just going to the Facebook group. Okay, so I was just about to edit the video, and then I realized I forgot to do my shameless plug for my Etsy shop. I do make floss bobbin buddies. These are my floss bobbin buddies. This particular one right here that I'm currently using is a prototype. I do not have this one listed on my Etsy shop. I do have more of this fabric, and I can always make some in the future. I just currently do not have this available on my shop right now. But I just wanted to use this one to show you how I use my floss bobbins. You can clearly see the colors and the numbers of the bobbins. And this is how I store my pieces. This makes it so much easier when I'm stitching. I do use a thread organizer. Let me go grab that real quick. Okay, so here is a thread organizer. I have my threads. This is from the same whip as this one. Clearly all the other colors that I need are already on here, and since I didn't need the bobbins anymore, I put them away. So these are the ones I still need to use, and I kept them here for now. So yes, so if it's not on this one, then it's here. So all the extras here. I do use Pattern Keeper, so I can see how many stitches I need left of which colors. So that's how I knew that I need to hold on to these. Well, the other ones I was able to put back in my regular thread stash. So yeah, so if I needed, let's say 400 on a different whip, I do have a spreadsheet where I know which floss bobbin is in which whip. So I can just go on my computer, look it up where are the 400s at. Okay, it's going to be in this whip, and I know if I just pull out my floss organizer, I can easily spot it and grab it if I need to. The box that I normally keep everything in, it's clear. So sometimes I don't even have to open the box. I just know it's there. The reason why I like this so much is because I do have a few bigger whips like Heaven Knows Designs where they do call for over 100 different threads. So if you ever had to store 100 different bobbins and didn't have any way to organize them like this, you know how much of a pain it is to look for every single one, trying to find that one particular color. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just have this and everything's already organized. I keep everything in numerical order, so it's easier to find if I need a particular number. So yeah, that's how I use this. And just for an example, they still work. So this one was a prototype. I was just playing around with the size and the spacing and everything. This is what I ended up choosing. So this size was what I ended up choosing for the final piece after all the prototypes I did. All the prototypes I am keeping for myself now that each one of my whips has a floss bobbin buddy. As you can see, if you don't like this tag, you can just tuck it in right there and it's not a problem. Right now, I'm just going to show you my fall collection and Halloween collections I have available on my Etsy shop. I do have more. This is not the only ones. It's just, these are just the holiday ones. So I just want to share this real quick. I have 4 of this available. This one is the Harvest truck. Etsy, these do not have names. They're all just floss bobbin buddies. So you just got to look at the picture to see what it looks like. So if you look at it on the other side, yeah, there's the floss bobbin little pockets, and then the back side is just the design of fabric. Okay, right now I have 2 of these apples available. I have 3 of these witches available. I like these ones so much. I have a few of these. I'm using a few of these in my stash. So because I took some for myself, I only have 3 available. I have 3 Cocos. I do not charge extra for the licensed ones. So all the floss bobbins are the same price, which is $21, and that includes free US shipping. I'm currently not doing international shipping. I'll let you know if that changes in the future. Okay, so this one is the last print I have, but there are 2 options. So this is the dark gray option, and this is the light gray option. So the dark gray I have 3, and then the light gray I have 5 available. Put it like that so you can see the light and the dark. So I believe they're on the same listing, so once you click on this image and it takes you to that listing, you'll see the options on there of the dark gray and the light gray. So that's what it's referring to is the felt color. Okay, but this is not all. Those are the ones I have currently listed on Etsy, but I have a few more that I'm working on. So I'm currently in the process of making these. Here are the one of the pockets. It's already done. All I have to do, the last step, is to sew the fabric. So I have this one for that. I think I'll have about 6 of these available. It's like a fun Halloween candy. And then this is the other prints. This is going to be a nice little fall. And I'm going to have 3 or 4 available on my shop. So if you like either one of these, and they're both going to be on orange. So orange for both. So if you like these will be listed on the shop as soon as I'm done with them, which should be before October 1st. I'm going to have a coupon for my Etsy shop. It's just going to be for you guys who are watching my YouTube video. 10% off anything in my shop. Link to my shop will be down in the description box below, and the coupon will also be down there in the description box. The coupon code will go from now until Halloween, to October 31st, 2025, midnight Pacific time. I'm in California, so I'm going to do it for my time. So if you purchase 1 or 2 items from my shop, you'll get 10% off. I already have a coupon code on my shop, so if you purchase 3 or more, that is 15% off. and that's already available on my shop. You can go ahead and find it. It should be with the listings at the very last slide of the images. Should have the coupon code there. So that coupon code is if you purchase 3 or more, 15% off. So yes, those are 2 coupon codes available for you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos and subscribing and liking my channel. I really appreciate everyone who has done that thus far, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, happy stitching. Bye.